Hello, my name is Kristen Lucy, and I'm the director of K-5 Science for Grant County Public Schools. Today, we're going to talk about engaging students in high-quality Tier 1 science instruction. So we know that our blueprint for the future outlines that each and every student in Gwinnett County Public Schools will receive a high-quality Tier 1 in, um, instruction and high-quality Tier 1 education. So what does that mean when we talk about elementary school science? When we talk about high quality Tier 1 instruction in Gwinnett County Public Schools, there are five big buckets of types of instruction, starting with that explicit instruction, where we are giving students exactly what they need in a precise manner. Then instruction also needs to be systematic and sequential. We need to make sure that we're not intentionally or unintentionally giving our students gaps in their learning. Of course, learning has to be diagnostic. We have to use this formative assessment to drive that small group instruction and really all instruction within our classroom. It needs to be cumulative, where we are giving students what they need to be successful, and then multisensory, multimodal, and hands-on. So when we talk about high quality Tier 1 instruction in Gwinnett County Public Schools, these are the five big buckets that we are using. In the science classroom, we need to make sure that our instruction is tightly aligned to the OKM, that our students are working at that proficient and distinguished level, and that it is tightly aligned to the OKM. High quality Tier 1 science instruction is also student-centered and collaborative, where students are working together in groups to solve real-world problems. We are using relevant phenomenon in problem-solving, hands-on inquiry to support our students' learning. We need to give students the opportunity to explore before the teacher explains. And we know that students learn science content best by using the science and engineering processes. And that science is a verb. So every day our kids need to be asking questions, planning and carrying out investigations, developing models, all of those wonderful science and engineering practices to engage in that hands-on science. We also know that in high quality Tier 1 science instruction, formative assessment drives differentiated small group instruction, and that we are supporting each and every student by supporting them or enriching them based on that frequent formative assessment data. So when we talk about high quality Tier 1 instruction for science, we need to make sure that we start with the phenomenon, that we are giving students something to anchor that learning. And not only are we anchoring our learning with our phenomenon, but we are giving our students the learning target so they know exactly what they are expected to do. Whether it we ask questions, whether we develop a model, we want to tell students what science and engineering practice they are engaging with and what they're going to learn with the learning target. Remember that with phenomenon-driven instruction, we have those driving questions that we are trying to answer throughout our unit. That we are starting with introducing the phenomenon. That can be the notice and wonder protocol. It can be the question formulation technique, but we're giving students something to anchor their learning. Then we're giving students the opportunity to explore the phenomenon by identifying questions that they investigate, by planning and carrying out those investigations, and by analyzing and interpreting data. Then we're giving students an opportunity to explain the phenomenon by developing and using models or constructing an explanation. And then we're getting students to critique and revise that explanation. And that can be revising a model, revising an explanation, or engaging in arguments and evidence. Then at the end of our unit, we are hoping that our students are able to conduct and construct those final explanations and evaluate what's really happening in the phenomenon. Throughout phenomenon-driven instruction, students are asking questions, they're obtaining, evaluating, communicating information. And that really happens throughout the learning sequence. Remember, when using a learning target, we want to tell students what they're going to know. I'm a big fan of giving them the achievement level descriptor so they know what the beginning level looks like, what developing looks like, and what exactly they need to do at that proficient and distinguished level to be successful. So here you see a fifth grade example where students are gathering evidence by utilizing magnification tools, more than one, to construct an explanation. When we're constructing an explanation, we're doing plain evidence reasoning that plants and animals are comprised of cells that are too small to be seen without magnification. So best practices with using learning targets. We really want to see those posted so that students can go back to them. It's great if it's on a slide deck, but then the kids might not have immediate access. So if you put it on the slide deck, make sure you print out a copy or write it on your board too, so that students have that constant access to their learning at Target. We want to make sure that it's big enough for students to see and that we're using visuals to make sense of what they need to know. We're referring back to those learning targets regularly and also including those achievement level descriptors. Our kids are amazing. If you give them what they need to know and tell them what they need to know, they will use the achievement level descriptors to make sure that they're getting stat proficient and distinguished level. As a reminder, our comm center has lots of stuff for you, starting with our AKF. We have our instructional calendar. We have our analyzing the standards document, pacing guides, achievement level descriptors, those formative assessment performance tasks. We have an assessment bank. We have lesson plans with the supporting slides. We have ML resources and additional instructional resources. So make sure you are checking out the ESOL. Not only are you checking out the grade level page, but you are clicking on the office homepage where you're going to find a lot of this additional information, such as our ML resources and those additional instructional resources. For our instructional calendars, remember that those are outlined by quarter. It is going to tell you the science and engineering practice that students need to work on, and then also what that AKS and the achievement level descriptor is. Here is an example of our 5th grade comm center. You will see the instructional calendars, the science and engineering practices, and then also those ML strategies are also on this page for you. All of our units are up at the top, so you are going to click on the unit, and when you click on that unit, you're going to find the instructional calendar, the pacing guide, the analyzing the standards document, and those sample assessment items. Also on our pacing guide, you're going to find links again that's analyzing the standards document, those sample assessment items, and our text sets that can be used as supplemental resources to support the learning within your classroom. Also, make sure that you are leaning into the setting up your classroom for science success lesson plans. Those are going to help your students engage with the science and engineering practices. And we have science and engineering practice cards to support the learning of the science and engineering practices through the scientific concept. As a reminder, when we are thinking about phenomenon-driven instruction, we have our phenomenon that's going to play a big piece in our students' learning. Then we have the tasks that is on EPOM. But the other piece of that is that formative assessment and small group instruction. That's where a lot of our explicit instruction for science is going to occur during that small group instruction. So making sure that you're using all of the components in your classroom for science success. As a reminder, our pacing guides are designed for 30 minutes of daily science instruction. If your school is alternating science and social studies, the days are grouped for you. So if you are teaching in alternating, then we're hoping that you have 1 hour. So you would get through lesson 17 and lesson 18 during that time. If it helps you, set a timer and have 30 minutes during one lesson and then 30 minutes of the next lesson so that you are optimizing the pacing guide that's provided for you. As always, Brandon and I are here to support. We thank you for your time and feel free to reach out to us with any questions.